So, Dad, I hear you used to be a firefighter. How old were you when you started that?
I was about 17, and we would go out when a forest fire would break out. We'd go out and with our our rakes and all and fight forest fires.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have no heavy equipment, but we just done it with rakes. We'd get way ahead of the fire and rake a path around the fire itself, and when it burned to that point, it would stop.
Mm-hmm.
And where we where I joined the firefighters, we went way up in a tower to their field office up in that tower to join the firefighters. And then once there was a phone line that went from that point down through a holler and from the Hanging Limb Road to the Clark Range Road, and that up limb fell on a phone line and broke it, I guess. And then me and this other warrior was sent through the woods following that phone line to find where it was broke and fix it back. And that was a hard goal because it was growed up so bad. There was no path through there. And we just worked our way through and we found it. And he went up on a pole there where it broke. Fortunately, it was broke right at the pole. And we had the equipment it took to tie onto it and bring it back up there and reconnect it. And then we was much closer to the Clark Range Road then than we were when we left to go there. And we went we walked on through the woods then to that office on the Clark Range Road and called back, and he come around through Monterey and come out there and picked us up and took us back to wherever. I guess he took us home then, and that we went to a lot of different forest fires. One way up toward Mayland, and it wasn't big roaring fires. It was just fires that would burn the leaves, and the fire burned slow. And we would get way ahead of the fire, and with our firefighting rakes, we would rake the leaves and make a bare, no leaf path pretty wide all across the front of that fire. And then when it burned to that point, it would go out, and then we have at times stayed all night to watch a fire like that to be sure it didn't start again. And they paid us extra for staying all night, and we just lay down there and get a nap ever so often during the night. And we didn't have modern equipment. We just fought the fires with fire rakes, and it was actually a hard job. And at the time we was fighting a fire, most of the time though, just sit around and talk and have fun because there was no fires and we didn't fight them. But when we had a fire, it would get hot and backbreaking. But we done it. I don't know now how long I worked there. And
Was this for the forest department?
yes,
Yeah. So it was forest fires.
forest fires,
Yeah.
but it was for the state of Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And the warden lived out toward Hanging Limb from Monterey. So that we worked the fire tower that he was in charge of was kind of close to his house. And we would go out there to start with. And that was kind of an enjoyable job. But when there was a forest fire, it was just, oh, you just had to stay with it till you got it under control. It was kind of hard work at that time.
Did you have to wear the hats or did you have any other equipment like they do now?
No, we didn't have nothing like that. The only thing that we had was hand rakes, and it wasn't like a yard rake. Each tooth was had a V shape to it and cutting edges on it. And little bushes and all, you could rake to be raking the leaves, and they'd cut the little old bushes off. And that was hard work of doing that, but I done it. We all did it. It worked there.
Was it mostly young men like that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Of course, there was an adult always in charge, and I knew all that was working in that department. There was other fire department in other areas, but we covered all of toward from the Hanging Limb Road all the way, actually all the way to Highway 70, going toward Crossville. And we had a lot of walking to do sometimes to go to a fire. But most of the time, fortunately, the fire would start probably from somebody throwing a cigarette out of a car window. The fire usually started close to a road.
Oh.
And there was a time or two that we had a fire way out in the middle of the woods that lightning had started. We figured out that that's what it was. Lightning struck a dead tree and set it afire. And most of the time was just a lot time to just sit around and joke and talk. But when it come time to work, it was hard work. But we did it.
So someone would come and get you
Yeah.
in a truck or something and take you out to the location?
Yeah. They kept in touch with us, and they would take us there, and then I don't remember that. Etta might have had I just don't remember how they connected. But we'd be way out on a road somewhere. After fighting a fire, we'd get back to the road and wait, and they'd send a car after us.
Interesting story. Thank you for telling me that.